So I've always thought of myself as a study tuber, and now I'm not studying anymore. So I guess it begs the question, should I quit YouTube? I am at a turning point in my life. My last ode to StudyTube, my Skillshare course on how to learn, is now available. 1 year of research and over 300 evidence-based papers on the science of learning, condensed into 20 bite-sized episodes and inspired by my #1 best-selling book, the only study guide you'll ever need. If you're struggling to study for exams, you need to check it out. The first 500 people to click the link in my description can access my course completely for free for 1 month on Skillshare. I hope it helps you. Hi friends! So as I enter this new stage of my life after graduation, I have been thinking so much about YouTube and what role it plays in my life and how I want my platforms to look now that I'm no longer in education. I don't know how long you guys have been with me, but I started this channel 6.5 years ago when I was 16. I started this channel not because I ever thought that I would be an actual YouTuber, but because when I was doing my GCSEs, I was just a very stressed human. I did not know how to study for exams. I cared so much about school, but I was just anxious all the time. My parents didn't go to uni, I didn't have older siblings. And so I remember going to YouTube looking for support from someone who had gone through the system and maybe had advice for me, and there was just no one. And so when I did my GCSEs and got all A stars, I thought, wow, like maybe I can be that for someone who needs it. And that's kind of how StudyTube was born. Like, you know, the whole eras of study with me's and always thinking about revision techniques and making flashcards and reading evidence-based papers on how to study, collabing with good friends and making podcasts with them, and then me being inspired to study cognitive science at uni and publishing a whole book on learning theory. Like, I never expected this whole journey, and I also never expected to be a YouTuber. And now I'm really just questioning the future of this channel and what I want the purpose of it to be as my life continues to evolve. So I'm still figuring it out, but right now I think I don't want to quit because I still love creating content and I love you guys. Like, literally, I just adore this community. But in leaning into this new era of my life, I feel like I should lean into a new era of content, and it's really difficult because it's hard not to cling to all these patterns of how I've made content in the past and what has worked in the past. And I'm trying to find willingness to accept transformation. If that looks like making less content, different content, no content. Content that gets 1 view from my mum, who always watches my videos because she's an angel. Shout out, mum. Whether that looks like investing more in my actual in-person career and offline life. It looks like being willing to accept change and understanding that a lot of you guys might not want to come on the next evolutions of my journey, and that is okay. I'm so sure you guys can relate to changing over time and outgrowing chapters of your life. And this feeling of change is so uncertain and so uncomfortable, you know, like looking back at this haircut that you used to love and now you hate it. Looking back at like evolutions of your style and every time that you were scared to wear something new, wear a new color, wear a new outfit, but the second that you did, you found that it suited you more. And eventually you look back and you're like, wow, I'm so glad that I tried that new thing. We outgrow music, we outgrow routines, we outgrow people, we outgrow so much. And it's just learning to be okay with that and to realize that that is transformation and that there are so many chapters of our life's book, and if we fear the start of every single chapter, then we're never going to read the whole book. We're never going to get to see what incredible things there are in store for us in our lives. You are not who you were when you were 10 years old. I am not who I was when I was 16 and starting this channel. And the crazy thing is I can literally like watch my own growth and like life unfolding. I can literally witness my own changes, and I just need to work out in which ways I want to now change and how much I want to take you guys on these changes with me, or if, I don't know, if the next chapter of my life is more private. As we grow and change, we have to decide which parts of ourselves to shed and which parts of ourselves to keep, which parts of us were a facet of our context or environment or that chapter, and which parts of us are more inherent that maybe we want to bring into every future chapter that we have. With the future of this channel, I'm trying to work out which parts are inherent which parts will survive every evolution of who I am, and which types of content I will just make less or make not at all, and being okay with that. Okay, so I feel this pressure to find my next thing. Like, for so long, everything that I've talked about online has in some way related to school or education or studying, because I love those things. But I do feel that those things just are becoming less relevant to what my life looks like. And so I'm like, oh, I want to like latch onto this next era, but I don't know what the era is. And I remember when my friend Jack Edwards, he graduated university, his like first year outside of uni was just a misery, because he was trying to work out what this next thing was and making, you know, random content, some of which he didn't really love, and just feeling lost. And like, I remember he nearly quit YouTube and we were talking about it, but it was through him going through that experimentation and leaning into like the change and transformation that he then became the most incredible book creator ever, literally revolutionizing the world of booktube. And to me, he is such a gorgeous example of coming back to what your inherent interests are and how those will always evolve with you in every stage of life. And for him, that was reading and books and literature, and yeah, it's just been amazing like seeing him flourish in that space. Yeah, and so in like thinking about what I want to create, I feel this pressure to be like, okay, I'm going from StudyTube to BookTube. But one of my good friends was so helpful recently, and she said, Jade, you've had all these chapters of your life. You've had Jade at school, Jade in her gap year, Jade at Minerva, and all of a sudden you want a very specific next Jade. You want Jade in this job, you want Jade who's interested in this thing. But what you need to realize is that Jade in uncertainty is also a chapter, and is also something that you can embrace and you can learn from. And you should not fear the uncertainty of not knowing what to do or what to create. And I love that advice. I think that's partly what prompted me to make this video, just to remind you that, yeah, it's really okay to have these like identity crises, life crises. They are the prerequisite to good change and growth. Oh, even though I hate being in it. Okay, but here's the thing as well, is even though I'm not actually studying right now, I'm not in university, I'm not in formal education, I truly love learning, studying, thinking about education. Like, there's a reason that I then went and studied this at uni and have talked about it for like 6 years online. Like, I genuinely love thinking about school. So I'm definitely going to keep learning outside of formal education, but also I'm like, do I still want to talk about this online? Like, is this something that is like an inherent love of mine? It doesn't matter if I'm not studying, like it's something that I still want to talk about and think about. And you know what I did, guys? So, I don't know if this is going to be my final ode to StudyTube or whatever, but I have made a 20-episode bite-sized course about how to learn based on like 300 academic papers in the space of cognitive psychology. And I decided to host my course on Skillshare. I don't know if you know of Skillshare, but it's just this amazing online learning community where you can learn like so many incredible creative skills. You can find inspiration in everything from productivity, like Ali Abdaal has an amazing course on there that I've taken. It's wonderful. Or, you know, creative writing, I've done one of their courses. Creative drawing, there's like an amazing one which is ChatGPT for creatives. Like, they have courses on literally everything. So yeah, it feels so cool to say that I have a course now on Skillshare. I've worked on this course for over a year, and I rented a studio space in Taipei, and one of my good friends who is studying cinematography helped me film the whole thing, and then I've just been editing for like ages. I cover everything from the science of motivation, how to beat procrastination, what actually makes an effective study technique based on the science of learning, and I discuss 5 of my absolute favorite study techniques for whatever you're learning. I am genuinely so proud of this course. I think it follows on from my book really well and is kind of an ode to everything that I've spoken about on here to do with studying over the years. And partly why I'm hosting it on Skillshare is because if you click the link in my description, you can actually access my course fully for free for a month. I wanted to make it as accessible as possible for you guys. And the first 500 people to click the link in my description will actually not only get free 30-day access to my course and to all of Skillshare, but you can actually get 40% off like a 1-year membership to Skillshare, which is so amazing, especially if you're trying to be a lifelong learner like me and constantly learn new skills, get inspiration. Skillshare is just wonderful. So definitely check that out. And I truly hope this course helps you if you're struggling with studying, if you're stressed about exams. Like, I poured a lot of information and heart into it. So yes, go check it out. So what is the future of my YouTube channel? What is the future of my life? I feel like this is a very mid-20s crisis. I really wish I was like a doctor right now or someone with a very defined path. But then having said that, I have so many friends who are doctors who I know actually struggle so much and constantly doubt if being a doctor is even for them, and especially like NHS junior doctors in the UK, there's so many issues with it. So do you know what? The grass is always greener. You can look at someone's life and be like, I wish I had their life, they've got it all figured out. And then you just dive a little bit deeper and you realise, oh, they don't actually have it figured out either. So I know that it's fine that I don't really know what I want to do with myself right now. That's fine, because most people feel like that. Does it actually practically help me feel better? Not really. I still feel lost. So this could be the year that I quit YouTube. This could be the year that I find another niche that I love creating in. This could be the year where I post only every month or every 2 months, especially as I'm exploring my in-person career. Who knows? But I really want this platform to stay light and to stay fun, and I really want it to be a place where I can serve. Like, that is why I started here. That's why I started in StudyTube, is I really just wanted to help people, help you guys. And so tell me how I can serve you. Like, tell me what you want to see from me, which parts of my creative journey have resonated with you the most, what kind of content makes you feel seen. I'm going to leave a link down below to this thing called Spark Jam, where you can send me your ideas for content or just tell me any thoughts you have on the future direction of my channel. So yeah, if you have thoughts, definitely please share them there. Please help a little existential girl. I hope you have a gorgeous rest of your day. My casual magic today is just a good herbal tea in my Stitch mug, in my like absolute goblet of a mug that's like the size of my head. It just always makes me feel cozy, especially when it's raining. Yeah, have a good one, guys. Bye.